Yo, what up guys? Got a Q&A video here, and this question comes from our friend Tim DeGuru on Twitter. He added me, and he says, I'm a high school senior and I'm spiritually and informatively awake. Been with you for a year and a half and I truly don't know what to do. School system is disinfo/indoctrination. What do I do? Should I go to college for no reason anyway? Just want your advice. Well, thanks for asking me that, my friend. Don't know if you could have picked a better person to ask that to, because I have quite a bit of experience and insight in going to college and not going to college. So I'm really going to answer this in two parts, both of those parts, if you go to college and if you don't go to college. But first, I just want to say props. Props to you, my man, because you are young. You're a senior in high school. And if you've been following content like mine for a year and a half now, that means you are miles ahead of your peers, which is amazing. Miles ahead of even where I was in high school. I think the only woke-ish content I had seen up until then, I watched What the Bleep Do We Know when I was like 12 or 13, and then I had watched a piece of Zeitgeist when I was in high school. So like I said, you are far ahead of the game, man, setting yourself up for some big things in the future. Anyway, back to your question. School system is disinfo, indoctrination. What do you do? Should I go to college for no reason anyway? So, like I said, I'm going to answer this in two parts. First of all, if you did go to college, okay? So, on one hand, you understand that much of what they teach us in our school systems is, in fact, indoctrination, which is great. You have that understanding. But I want to offer you a little bit of objective reasoning here. Don't let your disenfranchisement or your anger of the system take away a perfectly good opportunity that could present itself in front of you. So, for instance, point being here, say you do go to college, right? Yeah, you know it's indoctrination. Much of what they feed you there is bullshit, but what sorts of opportunities would you have if you did choose to go to college, okay? Number one, and this is just from personal experience, college is a wonderful time. Dude, you're going to make so many friends there. You're going to have so much stuff you can go do. I mean, I had a wonderful time when I was at State University. So much of a wonderful time, I actually failed out of State University. I had to go back home, live with my parents, and go to community college. So trust me, it could be fun. And even if you're not into the party scene, you don't want to get involved in that, you could do intramural sports, you could mess around in their rec center, you could make all sorts of friends and go do great activities. I mean, it's a fantastic time, right? Don't squander that opportunity. And second of all, on that same point, what is your job when you go to college? Your job is to study. Your job is to learn, to educate yourself, right? So if you do decide to go to college, you're already going in there with the mindset of discernment, of knowing that a lot of what you're going to learn there is not the truth, right? So like I said, you're already ahead of the game. So why not go to college where you're going to have so much time on your hands? Your job is literally going to be to learn. You're going to have so many resources there. You're going to have a giant library or college. You're going to have computers everywhere. You're going to have so much opportunity to inform yourself. And like I said, you already have your discernment cap pretty fine-tuned. So you're going to know which information is good, what information is not. You're going to get even better at learning what's good and what's not, right? So there you go. And not only that, but hell, all those friends that you're going to be making there, you could plant seeds in them. Start waking up all the people, all the connections that you make at college. I mean, you could make a true difference there, man. Again, don't squander that opportunity just because you're angry at the system, right? So that's if you do go to college, okay? Let's go into number two. Second part of this. What if you don't go to college? Okay? So, I don't necessarily know your particular situation. I don't know if college is going to be paid for you, whether by your parents or grants or scholarships or something like that. I mean, if you do have to take out some sort of a loan that you have to pay out the ass for, I don't blame you. Don't blame you for not wanting to go to university to have to pay that back. And not only that, but I don't blame you at all for not wanting to deal with the indoctrination. Because again, a little bit of my own personal experience here, when I did fail out of state university, go to community college, I was in community college for about a year and a half, at which point I just said, bye, screw it. I'm going to start working full-time at this job. See, the important thing was that I had an out, okay? I am all for somebody deciding not to go to college and become either an entrepreneur or create their own non-job, as some people out there have called it, or, basically take the jump, take the leap, and start their own business or get into some sort of trade, or, you know what I'm saying, just going outside of the stat quo, outside of the norms, saying screw your expensive disinformation-filled education, I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm all for that. That's what I ended up doing. But let me tell you, man, number one, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. When I left school for good, when I was probably 21 at the time, dude, it was rough. It became year go by up to like 5 years of just grinding. I was working more than full time. I was working this job to that job to that job. I didn't have that fancy piece of paper that people look for when they want to hire you, et cetera, et cetera. So it's difficult, man. It's very difficult. It takes a particular mindset that not a lot of people have. I'm going to be honest with you. Not a lot of people have that entrepreneurial, disciplined, motivated, inspired, self-educating mindset to become that sort of entrepreneur, to build their own business and not need any fancy degree. Okay? So it's tough. It takes a special mindset, and you have to have some sort of out. Like I mentioned, I was able to leave college to go work full-time at a health food store. I ended up working there for a few years, held a couple other odd jobs, and then I finally made the leap, didn't work for anybody, quit my jobs, and then started on YouTube. That was almost 2 years ago now, about 1 3/4 years ago. So let me tell you, it was like 5 years of grinding my ass off. And then when I started my YouTube channel, it was like 6 months of still grinding my ass off to start actually finally getting a sort of return where my asshole wasn't puckered up every night thinking if I was going to put food on the table, or wondering what my next opportunity was going to be or when the heck I was going to get out of this shitty situation. Now I'm my own boss, okay? But like I said, it was really tough getting here. It took countless thousands of hours of educating myself and learning not only the subject content, not only this conspiratorial, truth, reality, but also learning how to market, learning how to business, et cetera, et cetera. So I luckily had an out. I had an out when I was in community college, and then come 2 years ago, my out was me choosing to go onto YouTube and do social media and all the internet stuff, create my own non-job. So if you do decide not to go to college, just understand it's going to be work. You want to make sure you have that particular mindset that's needed. Now, you might not have it now, but you can create that mindset. Don't get me wrong. I surely didn't have this mindset when I even started this 2 years ago. I had to make it. I had to form myself into it, which can be done. You can do it. And not only that, but you need a particular niche. My niche was news, educating people on, health space, etc., conspiracy stuff on YouTube. Maybe your niche could be art. Your niche could be strength coaching, personal training. There's plenty of niches that you don't need college for that you can get yourself into. Point being here. So if you don't decide to go to college, which, again, Don't blame you, man. Don't blame you at all. Just, you need to be real about it, okay? You need to be real about your situation. Are you going to be actually able to put in the work and have a business that is going to grow, that is going to fill a need for people, and that's going to support you, okay? So think of those things if you decide not to go. But again, you might decide to go. And there are definite benefits, positives for you in deciding to go to college, like I reiterated earlier. You know, it's going to be wonderful times for you. You're going to meet lots of new people. You're going to have so much time on your hand to study what you want to study. I mean, you're going to have your laptop in every class. That's one thing I did when I was starting to wake up and still in college. Man, I remember having computers at every desk, and they might have been researching whatever the class was. I don't know, biology or chemistry or whatever. And I was sitting there just like Rothschilds, bloodline families, chemtrails on these computers, right? So you could totally go there and research all the conspiracy stuff while you're there. Beauty of it, right? Use their systems to educate yourself about their systems. But no, man, yeah, you're at a big turning point in your life, and I'm very excited for you because you are miles ahead of everybody else. And whatever you do decide to do, again, follow your heart. That's really what it boils down to. You know, when I went to college, I just followed my heart there. And even when I left college, that was me following my heart. And then when I left my corporate jobs, that was me following my heart onto the internet, onto YouTube. Just really go with what sets your soul on fire, man. Whatever your intuition is pulling you towards, that's the right decision. Don't let your brain cloud you down with all its incessant thinking, with all its overthinking and fear-based analysis. You know, just pick her out, do it, and as long as you do it with pure intentions, the universe is going to put opportunities in front of you that is going to help you grow into the best, most conscious version of yourself. Done.